Hey, what's up guys, TheAzer0th here, and we are back for a new tutorial. Alright, so, it's probably going to be a 10-minute tutorial, even more, but anyways, here's the example, well, not exactly the examples, but what you can achieve if you do follow the tutorial. That kind of animation, and what, I'm just gonna come on, no, okay, there. Yeah, you could do an animation like that, and could do something like the glass. It's gonna be, come on. Yeah, something like the glass you just saw. No, it's not, it's animated, don't worry, but I made it very slow. Alright, but true example, here it is. Alright, so that's what we're gonna do in After Effects. It's not exactly the same thing, but like I said, if you apply the same idea, it's gonna work. So I've got a new composition here, and we're gonna create a new solid. Make comp size. Obviously, you need element 3D by Video Copilot. If you don't have that, well then try to learn Cinema 4D, and I don't want to do that. So scene setup, and you want to go to starter pack. It's something that you should always have when you download Element. It's really the basic free stuff. So you need to go down and choose floor fracture. You're gonna have this. Doesn't look very good, but anyways. And then we're gonna go into presets. And for now, I'm gonna be using the Pro Shaders map. It's a pack made by Video Copilot. Usually, you can download it too. Just find it, and you can use diversity of textures, I guess. And I chose tone number 7, so just drag it and put it here. Right, so that's gonna be number 1. Keep that in mind. Number 1. Click on OK. Also made just new solid. Just right click though. White to put in the background to make sure that we see it more clearly. Alright, so right click and then new solid. Alright, so in here we want to go to group 1. I can close this. And particle replicator. You're gonna need it a little bit later, but for now we're gonna close it. And then particle look. So you want to start by going to multi-object and enable multi-object, and then you want to go to X displace and displace it a lot. Well, for what I'm gonna do is I can displace it a lot, but depending on your edit, you might not want to displace it that much. And obviously you might need to track and stuff, but I'm not tracking. And why displace it a little bit? Doesn't need to be too much, but you need, for an intro like that, you need a lot of X displace, and you need a lot of Z displace. You might even want to play with the X scatter and the Y scatter a little bit, and with the Z scatter, it just gives you more randomness. And of course, change the random seeds so it's not always the same animation. And there we go, we have something and it looks good. GG, done. Okay, no, seriously, now we can go back to, we can even go to rotation randomness and then rotate it from -243. Alright, doesn't really need to be anything precise. And into particle look, we're just gonna put it down in Y position until we don't see it anymore. Alright, we don't see it now. Now you want to go back in scene setup, click on floor fracture, and Control D so you can duplicate it. And now on the second one, well, this one there, unclick on 1, click on 2. Make sure it's put like that, okay? Or else it's not gonna work and you won't see the animation. So click on OK, and then we're gonna see this. So basically, you do the same thing on this one. So but you have to watch out. Don't do this on group 1, but do this on group 2, since it's number 2 here. So we're gonna go back into particle look, and then just enable multi-object, rotation randomness, X displays, C displays. You might want to go around the same values as what you had in group 1, just so it doesn't look too crazy. But 9, 3, 17, 9, we'll go maybe to 5, maybe go to 10, and then 17, might go a bit to 20, and then a little bit of those. Let's just put that to 8, 15, and then of course random seed, you need to put that. Just put random numbers. It just make sure it's different animation every time you change of seed. So if you go can you go to, if you do this, it just gives you something else. Alright, so then we are done now. Okay, of course, particle replicator of group 2, of course. Just watch out when you're playing with these, you could get mixed up. So just make sure you go up till you don't see it anymore. Alright, and then just close this. Alright, and then you want to go into, you can close this for now, and you want to go to animation engine, click on enable, and make sure it's between the groups you used. So maybe you have text and stuff like that in group 1, then you might want to do group 2 and group 3, or just use your brain. So we have the first group that is under here technically, and then we have the second group that is up there technically that you don't see. So it's going to be between group 1 and group 2. Now animation type, you want to make it random, okay? And then just to give you an idea, animation, and then just move this around. As you can see, it goes from lower to upper, and that's basically it. After that, it's just making everything look better. So we're gonna go back into group 1, particle replicator, maybe not, maybe more like particle look, particle size of group 1, maybe, I don't know, like 35, maybe a bit too much, 33. Let's see, group 2, you need to put around the same values. Let's see, 35. Let's go back into animation engine. Okay, no, that's too small. I don't know exactly the difference that it does, but when you go into multi-object and you play with the settings, it goes faster if you make bigger values. Just in the end, you need to play with some of the settings and until you find what you're looking for. But that's basically it. Let's see. If you go back now to 0 and you still see those, then you might want to move it around. So I'm gonna go back into particle replicator, make it go lower, and group 2. Let's see. I'm gonna push this back upper, and then put it higher and higher and higher. Come on. Come on. Okay. And animation. Alright, it's not that good, but at the same time it's just an example, and you might want to take more time to animate and to get the right particles you want. Another texture I like to use, go back into materials, and it's using the plane, drag it on, but it doesn't look that good. But if you go into plane, click on air, and then you go here, And basic setting, diffuse color, make it fully white, and make sure everything is white. And with some lightning, it can look pretty damn cool. I have a preset, so I'm just gonna use it on everything. Alright, so yeah, just gives you white solids, and it looks like grayscale, but it's, you know, fake grayscale. And of course you might want to add some text, but I'm just gonna go over new text. Let's call it tutorials. Okay, and then let's just find the font. Where was that? Okay, that should be good. That's good. Hide it. Black solid. Custom layers, custom text, and tutorials. Go back into scene setup, extrude. I'm gonna have this, and then you can use, you know, bevels that are already pre-made. I used in the example double down, but you can use something else if you want to. And then of course we're gonna need to place it. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Extrusion model, make sure it's gonna be on 3 because number 2 is taken. Then you want to go to number 3 on this, and we can see it. Alright, I'll just animate the animation. So keyframe this, and then go to the end, and then keyframe it to whatever you want. You might want to do a full animation, but I don't necessarily want it to go to full. So I'm just gonna keep it down to 10%. So it goes like that. You can also, you know, animate rotation randomness of group 1 and group 2, but you don't necessarily need to do it. That's your choice in the end. Now, just to make it look pretty, you might want to add some new camera, whatever, the settings, and then you might want to push P on the keyboard, and then keyframe position, go to the end, keyframe position. I like this kind of position, and then in the first one, like maybe zoom in, or maybe go, or zoom out. I don't know, it's your choice in the end. Like this. Zoom out more. Okay. And if it's like that, let's just make it black in the background. Fail. Okay, and then make it black. Now something that is kind of cool if you're doing an intro is adding some motion, well, depth of field. So we're gonna go into camera and then just open it and go to camera option, click on, and to make it easier for you guys to know where the blur is, go back onto black solid on your element layer, close everything, go into output, composite, go to focus. Now everything that is black, it's not gonna be on focus. So just to be quicker, we'll go back on composite, play with maybe aperture a little bit so it get more blur, and then play with the focus distance until you get a bit more precise just by the eye. Yeah, like that. You see it's already more precise than it used to be. Now go back on blacks on the element layer, put it back to focus, and as you can see, that's on white. So I'm just gonna be putting it to quarters. So okay, so as you can see, it moves, it's on focus, and then it gets not on focus. So maybe make sure that it gets on focus always. Okay, and then it gets in focus. So let's just put it back here on composite, on blur, and then it gets not blurred. And in the end, it just helps make things look better. So of course, I added some optical flares, I added some camera shake, and then RSMB, and then black bars and all, but that's basically it. It's just the trick is making an animation between two groups. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this 15-minute long tutorial, and if you want to see more, just, of course, like, comment, subscribe. Always write in the comment if you have any effect suggestions. I'm always looking for them. And yeah, TheAzer0th out. See you guys next time.